This is the Paranormal Report. Hey, welcome to the Paranormal Report. More ridiculous dancing, more paranormal news, more of everything you hopefully love. Hey, Dar, how you doing today?
It's one of those days. Did you ever have one of those days?
I'm in a good mood. You are not so much.
I am not in a good mood. You guys know what it's like. It's not anything in particular, right? It's not like, oh my gosh, it's nothing. It's these little stupid things.
You're in a bad headspace. You're in a bad headspace.
I am in a bad headspace. I'm trying to clear, trying to just let the good vibes in, right? And just breathe and not let all this little, they say don't sweat the small stuff. I'm trying not to. But
there was something I wanted to mention specifically, and I can't remember where it was, about what's going on in life. We're adjusting
the fact that we're alone now.
Yeah, the new normal. We're adjusting to the new normal. Over behind the scenes this week in my Plus Club, we talked about my most embarrassing story, so you might want to check that out.
Oh, you guys have to join. That one's pretty good. That one's pretty good.
It was interesting. It was a lot embarrassing. I was blushing as I was telling it.
He was, which I don't think he should have, but I get it, though. I get it. But
the paranormal news continues.
We have big paranormal news this week.
Well,
this is huge, right?
When we talk about Bigfoot, the thing that I always bring up, and a lot of people who are skeptical, I'm on the fence. I say, I kind of steer a little more believer, but I'm not quite there. Mm-hmm. I said, where's the body? Well, the body is at the New York State Fair, apparently.
It is
That's
here.
That's what we're being told. And it's courtesy of one Charles Snake Stewart. Now, you always say I can't pronounce that last name. Stewart.
There, that's better.
Stewart.
Yeah.
I always thought it was James,
I'm doing my
James
speech therapy
Stewart.
thing.
And there's a couple ways to spell the name, but Stewart. Anyway, I'm getting a little wrinkle right here.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
A little wrinkle.
I have so many wrinkles. It shows experience. Don't listen to everyone else.
He has basically created an exhibit at the 2025 New York State Fair, and there's actually multiple good articles on this, unexplained-mysteries.com. CBS 6 Albany, and we'll link to this, actually has a YouTube video where they interview Charles at length about the body, and Syracuse.com probably has the most substantive article on it. And Charles has this 8-foot body. It's in plexiglass, and it rests on a plywood coffin on the first floor of the horticulture building at the New York State Fair. And apparently he's letting people gawk at it for free. He even gave visitors I Saw Bigfoot buttons. The exhibit is decorated like a 1970s basement, complete with paneling. And get this, he has William Shatner on TV talking in grave tones about Bigfoot from a script Stewart paid him to read. He said he was pretty easy to get. I have a friend who's related to him, and plus he's into the paranormal sci-fi world, talking about Shatner. So basically, Charles says he has a whole different way of searching for Bigfoot. He tries to he says in the video, he said ingratiate himself into the environment, not kind of like this all guns blazing like a lot of other people. And he says he found a decomposing Bigfoot. He took it to a taxidermy friend of him, and they worked it up, and that's what you'd see at the New York State Fair. I'd love to show you pictures, but the links are all there. And a lot of people are saying, well, it looks like a mask and a costume, and he claims it's absolutely real. In the video, it's funny, he said it's very stinky, which I don't understand. Usually I've seen taxidermied animals, and they don't seem to smell at all. So,
well, did he actually have it preserved by the taxidermist, or did he just have his friend who's a taxidermist look at it?
I think from this article, I'm pretty sure.
Because I know he said it was decomposing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to look and see here if he actually does have it.
He's quite the character.
Quite the character. Oh yeah, and he also claims to have the reproductive bone of the Bigfoot. that you can also see. Here's what he said. He was dead when I found him. He was decomposing. We had to rip out some of its guts and try to salvage it taxidermy style. This is where we found the reproductive bone, which is an adaptation to help him procreate. And he goes on to say about Bigfoot, they don't create family units. They usually only reproduce just to reproduce. We theorize there was a battle that happened when he was trying to mate with an older, wiser Bigfoot lady. And that's when blows started happening, and that's when he perished because he found him in the woods. So, I mean, believe it or not, it really is interesting. Now, he said he's also trying to raise money to do some DNA testing. He said it was kind of rejected by the Cornell DNA lab, but he's still going to try. And he claims that, I think they said that they thought that it was part Neanderthal. But I don't know. I'm not going to say.
Yeah,
it's
like
not
what's
real.
your opinion on this, Jim?
I'm
Come
not
on, you
gonna
can give an
say
opinion.
Well,
Stop being so nice. Come on.
yeah, stop being so nice. It doesn't look that
Lay it
real
on the
to
line.
me.
What
It
do you
doesn't
think?
look
Just
that. It
gut.
doesn't look that real to me. It doesn't look that real to me. But I'm not willing 100% to say for sure it is. It is not. But it looks. It looks kind of costume-like
interesting.
to me. It is interesting.
Here's what annoys me. Oh, here we go. That he is quite a character, right?
Right.
If he would have presented himself a little, and I know that's not right and it's not fair, right? It's not fair. You should be able to look any way you want, dress any way you want, whatever.
Right.
But mainstream media is going to pick you apart when you look a bit eccentric, right? Or if you talk about, like us, when we talk about eccentric things that are weird and different, oh, you're off to the side, you're off the cuff, you're not in the mainstream, right? If you wanted people to really believe that this was Bigfoot and you found it, be a little more straight-laced about it. You know what I mean? Let's be a little more, I don't know. My two cents. And I'm not disparaging him and I'm not, denying it's real or not real. I don't know. To me, it does look fake, but I don't know. What do I know? I mean, I'm disappointed Cornell lab wouldn't do DNA research on it. Why not? What do you have to lose? Yeah. I mean, let's find out what it is. If he's willing to allow it, I
agree. It's one of those things where I just, I wish there were more hard evidence for this. Now, there are some very interesting. I was asking somebody about this. I was interviewing, and I can't. We just actually did an episode of the Paranormal podcast, on Bigfoot, and they said, and I tend to agree, that some of the best evidence are some of the plaster casts, some of the footprint casts. Those are interesting.
Oh, he had one.
Those are very interesting.
He has one in the little area, his little museum thing. If you watch the ABC6 story, that was interesting because the two hosts that were introducing the story, one, she's a very big believer. She has a bumper sticker about Bigfoot. And the gentleman was like totally like looking at her like she was, growing horns out of her head. Again, see, and that, why? I don't know. Why can't everyone just accept each other's beliefs? You don't have to agree. And you don't have to, I don't know.
The guy, Charles Snake Stewart, he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy. I recommend there's a couple of videos. Yeah, there's that interview, and then there's another video linked in the one story where it's actually on YouTube. I think it might be a producer from the TV station. I don't know. But it was interesting, and check it out.
Yeah, see what you guys think. I mean, it looks very, gross, parts of it.
Oh, so. It is gross. It is.
Yeah, so just kind of warning you, don't
keep trying to adjust your frame to line you up. So if Dar is kind of
because I keep moving. Because
Yeah.
I'm moving. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I told you I'm having one of
lined up.
those days. It's one of those days.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you really moved there. Whoa. What just happened? Oh,
what are you doing?
Gosh. Okay. You get to,
Maybe you're having one of those days now.
Yeah. Whoa. Where's everything going? You're back.
All right.
I won't touch anything else.
Okay. Well, this next story is from San Antonio. An allegedly haunted hospital in Yorktown is now off limits to the public.
Why is that? Why is that, pray tell?
Because they're saying San Antonio, they said they blindsided them without warning or citation. So 2 months ago, a group called Curious Twins Tours and Events, the co-owners Fred and Stephen Garza Guzman, acquired Yorktown Memorial Hospital. So it's an abandoned facility said to be like one of the most haunted buildings in Texas. It's like 75 years old. It's located about 80 miles southeast of San Antonio. And they've owned it for, I think, a few years now. But now they're saying that only the building's owners and caretakers can enter the facility. They've deemed the building unsafe for occupancy under Section 116 of the International Existing Building Code. Due to the risk of structural failure or hazardous conditions, this property has been posted with a notice that prohibits any public entry or use. And the owners, Fred said he was baffled by the decision. They've had at least 20 educational tours and investigations at the hospital since 2019, and they've never been cited for safety concerns or violations. And they feel like they're just being targeted because they're newer owners. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So they were supposed to have a scheduled event Saturday and they had to cancel it because they would have been in violation. And then that would have caused a number of problems. And I guess they weren't even given like enough notice to attend the inspection. Like, I guess they were given like 15 minutes notice to try to get there. And he lives quite far. I think he said, what did he say he lives? Like over 30 minutes away, or I don't know, just quite a distance. So he didn't have any chance to even go there and had no guidance on how to address their issues. It just says, I guess the report's very bare boned. But apparently it's supposed to be pretty haunted. And, they were, they had planned to continue tours, investigations, open up the site for private events and filming. And they wanted the money from that to go to preserve and repair the building. But yeah, they're also trying to get it to be like a historical site. But now they're banned from doing all of this. So
I think there are two prongs to this. And again, I don't know about this specific situation. I don't know where the fault lies. So I'm not commenting on this. But it kind of goes back to what you said earlier. Anytime you are dealing with something in the paranormal and supernatural and you're trying to interface with officials or media or anything like this, you've got to make sure that you are 3 times more buttoned up than the average person. I even find that in my business when I deal with ad agencies or I do anything on a business side. I got to make sure that I am dotting my I's and crossing my T's and being super overly professional because they expect, this guy is a goofball. Right. So on the hospital side, and I'm not saying that they didn't, but you got to make sure you're buttoned up. On the other side, I do believe that official agencies and those kind of things have a bias against people who delve into these things. I've told the story. I think I've told the story on this show where I went for jury duty one time and was working for a radio station and they said, welcome aboard, you're on the jury. The second time, because I knew the bias, I leaned into the bias and said, oh yeah, I podcast on Bigfoot and UFOs. That's my full-time job. And they said, you're juror number 13, bye. You're excused. But I mean, the thing is that it is real. The bias is real. So on one side, if you're dealing with this sort of thing as a purveyor of something paranormal, you got to be buttoned up. And, the officials need to stop the bias. It's like that T-shirt that you're supposed to do. Your bias is showing. So again, I don't know where the fault lies here.
Well, at the very minimum, why didn't you allow the owners to be present for the inspection?
Good point.
Right?
Good point.
So don't tell me you're on the up and up, because why weren't you there for the inspection? Why didn't you give the owners an opportunity to bring somebody, maybe a structural engineer with them or something, that they could talk about each thing that they're supposedly ticking off to make the building deemed unsafe, right? So why'd you do that? See, like you said, they had a bias. I feel they had a bias. You didn't give notice and you didn't allow them to be, to be in attendance for the inspection. So yeah. So I think that sucks. Sorry.
Yep. Well, something else that sucks. Well, kind of. I wanted a mysterious, wild, otherworldly explanation for the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know if you know this, Dar. I think I mentioned it. That was like my gateway drug to all this stuff. I think the first thing when I was a kid in first grade,
wow,
I was fascinated by the Bermuda Triangle, and our school library had books, books about the Bermuda Triangle. I remember getting them out. Charles Berlitz, very in the 70s, when I was a very, very small child, very small. I can't stress how small I was. First grade. I was fascinated by the damned Bermuda Triangle. So anyway, and those were books. The Berlitz books were,
Well, yes, I don't know. I was like reading with little picture icons, and
it reminds me of a story. I went to the doctor one time, and I don't know how it came up, but my mom I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was reading from the Reader's Digest to the doctor. I don't know how this happened. And the doctor said, well, who taught him to do that? And my mom said, I don't know. I guess he taught himself. But anyway.
There you go, Mr. Brilliant. There you go.
Yeah,
Genius.
but what happened? I should be a super brainiac now, and look at me.
Well,
such
we know
wasted potential. Such
We're not
wasted
going there.
Potential. So you're saying I did fall short of expectations. Thank you. Now,
you're
supposed to say, Jim, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're saying, yeah,
you
we
are
know,
brilliant. I said that. Oh,
yes, brother. Yes, the real feelings come out. Anyway, scientists claims to have finally solved the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. This is from dailymail.co.uk. And this is Dr. Simon Boxall. He is an oceanographer from the University of Southampton. He says it's not UFOs, it's not interdimensional portals, it's not anything unusual, but it's rogue waves. Apparently, these extreme storm waves are unpredictable. They can tower up to 100 feet, which is 30 meters in the air. Rogue waves are abnormally steep and can hit unexpectedly from directions other than the prevailing wind. The doctor says a large ship trapped by one of these killer swells could sink in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. Very interesting. They talk about, for example, cases like the USS Cyclops. In 1918, it was an American coal-carrying ship that had been used to ferry fuel to warships during World War I. And it vanished while it was on a mission, without a trace, without a signal, without anything. 542 feet, absolutely gone. And Boxall says, for example, that could be rogue waves. Now,
okay.
Others say nothing to see here. If you look at it statistically, there are no more wrecks of planes or ships in the Bermuda Triangle than anywhere else. So even Lloyd's of London is saying that. And their job is to insure things, right? So they should have a pretty good handle on it. But then, first of all, rogue waves, I get it, for ships. What about airplanes? What about airplanes? How does that explain airplanes?
Oh, my whole thing with all of this? Wait, I didn't mean to interrupt, but okay, where's the wreckage?
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's a big
ocean. Of any
ocean,
of these things.
We know it's a big ocean. But the other thing I will say, there's a really famous case that happened in the 1940s. I think it was right towards the end or after World War II, called Flight 19. If you're interested in the Bermuda Triangle,
good story.
To me, that is the one that is really like the case. First of all, it's planes, it's not ships. And there's these weird, bizarre, like radio messages that they have record of, that these pilots were totally disoriented and they were screaming and just really eerie. So am I absolutely a believer that some of this is just weather and just a coincidence? Absolutely. Do I think maybe some weird things have happened in the Bermuda Triangle? Yes. And when I think of things like unidentified submerged objects, I'm kind of like, maybe they encountered one of those, Flight 19. So again, as usual, I fall down on, some of this stuff probably has a perfectly, quote, logical explanation. and then some of it doesn't. And anytime we try to put any particular phenomena in one bucket or the other, I think we're making a mistake. I think it's a continuum. Some of it's explicable, some of it's not. What say you, Darha?
Oh, yeah. It's not like everything else. It's not black and white, right? There are shades, there are gradients to everything on Earth, right? I mean, there's always there's nuance. So my thing is, okay, I know you said it's a vast ocean, but nothing has ever appeared anywhere. I mean, there are coasts not that far away from the Bermuda Triangle, right? I mean, no wreckage of any planes, any personal belongings, anything ever been found. Kind of makes you wonder, right? Like okay, they just disappear. All right, where? Like there's no evidence. That's my problem. Like there's just no evidence of anything. So makes you think a little bit. Is it something different, bizarre that we don't know about? I mean, it can. Yeah. And I agree with you. I think, Jim, sometimes some things can be just explained by weather, and it's not everything is paranormal, not everything's supernatural, but there's always that possibility for certain things that it can be, right?
Right.
I mean, we sailed through the Bermuda Triangle, remember, on that Ancient Mysteries cruise?
Yeah,
Did you feel weird?
That. No. But it did occur to me.
It was pretty neat.
It did occur to me. We went on an outing and they showed us in a glass bottom boat but I did think, wouldn't it be kind of ironic? Here I am, a paranormal podcaster, longtime paranormal podcaster, and then something happens and I too am lost in the Bermuda Triangle. I thought about the irony of that if that would have happened. Of course it didn't. We were all safe. It was... But it was kind of, because it was really nice holiday maker travel. We will credit them. They, as part of the cruise, they had this outing. And how many people were on the boat? Maybe 50?
There were quite a few. Yeah. Different fans and.
Yeah. And we all went through the Bermuda Triangle on this glass bottom boat. And it was kind of dark. It was starting to get dark. And I'm like, ooh, this is a little creepy.
See, now I can handle that creepiness. I don't know why. I don't like haunted homes.
But you love the water.
You
love the water. And in fact,
I don't. You know what? I don't like being in the water. I just like the water. I like to look at the water. I'm scared of the water.
Well, two things. I just.
But water's important.
We have been mentioning this of doing another cruise, like a campfire cruise or a paranormal report cruise, or just a cruise with myself and Dar. So let us know in the comments if that's something you're up for. We probably do a little bit differently this time, but it's something we've been considering. So let us know. I think
maybe just like a 4-night or 5-night, just something short.
We want to do something very affordable for people if we do something. So
it won't be on the latest and greatest, icon of the seas.
Basically, it boils down to this: if you want the latest and greatest, you have to pay for the latest and greatest. I think
and we can't even afford that.
Yeah, when we were on that cruise, the best part in my mind was when we had those sessions where we all sat together in the evenings and just talked about spooky stories, and we kind of did. There weren't any microphones. There weren't anything.
No,
it was just we were like it was almost like being around a campfire, and I was kind of facilitating, and people were sharing their stories, and Dar was there too. And that was such a good time. And it was almost like
had
totally
one too
impromptu.
Many lemon drops, but yeah.
It was like really impromptu. It wasn't like a planned thing.
It wasn't
And that
organized.
was my favorite. That was a favorite part of the cruise for me. And I'd like to recreate that. But again, that doesn't get into, you could do that on virtually any ship. And we would want to be a nice one. We wouldn't want to be, we're not going to have you on Fred's Cruise Lines. But,
just a chance to everybody to have dinner together and talk about things, and then do a lot of those impromptu campfires, and maybe go on an excursion to a haunted site or something.
Yeah, and let us know, because this is something you got to plan like a year out.
At least, sometimes 2 years out.
So let us know if we get enough reaction. And let us know if you're interested, and if so, into it.
Yeah, if so, like what time of year is good for you guys too? Because I know everybody has families and they have other vacations they may want to take. But maybe just like a short, like 4-night, just a quick little getaway might be,
Yeah.
So
you can put it in the YouTube comments. You, of course, can go over to the virtualcampfiregroup.com and put it in the comments there and let us know. And since we're taking a little break here, show people the latest and greatest in the merch store.
We just got this yesterday. I ordered one for us, and I'm so excited. It's going to sit on my desk. It's my little Stay Spooky lamp. Oop, I'm trying to get it in.
I don't know if people can see who are watching. They're little stars and little ghosts.
They're little ghosts. It turns on.
Yeah.
It shows some nice light, actually. I was kind of shocked about that. But that's going to be awesome on my desk. It doesn't have anything that says Jim Harold, so you could keep it out, for Halloween or and it's on both sides. If I could try to, I have it plugged
in. It's hard
in,
because
so
it's plugged in. It's hard to tell. Yeah. But you get the idea. And then I can show a picture in the merch store of it. Here it is.
Yeah, there you go.
It's more of so it looks to be well made because, the thing is that we always want to focus on stuff that is well made and get you good quality stuff. And
that's why I bought one too, because I wanted to be sure, because if it wasn't, I would have taken it down. But I was very impressed. I was impressed with the packaging from the company. The shade comes upside down and you just unscrew it and then put it the right side way. And
it just takes a standard light bulb. So nothing.
Standard light bulb,
yeah.
And it's kind of, the shade's more of a plasticky vinyl, and it's got like a little bit of material on the top and bottom. So it has very subtle little ghosts and stars.
And I don't know, could you put a different shade on that if you wanted to, Dar? Do you know?
Oh, you probably could, for sure, because it comes off easily. Yeah. So you could just use a normal,
so
you could keep
during spooky season, you stay spooky, and then you could just have a regular old lampshade some other time. So.
For sure. Or there you go.
Change it up for the season. Well, yes. I just thought
Jim
that
wanted
was
a light. I got a light.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we're talking about spooky things. There's a new way to test it, right?
Well, we were talking about water. So here you go. If you believe in ghosts, and if you want to know if there's some creepy stuff, spirits going on at your home, there's this new test. It's the creepy water test, apparently.
Ooh, the creepy water test.
News18.com is reporting about this. So there's a way to see if your home is carrying negative energy. I'm going to preface this. I don't know if I believe in this, but anyway, I thought I'd put it out there. You guys could talk to us about it. People have always done all these tricks and rituals to see if there's like ghosts in your house, whatever. But there's this test you could do. All you need is a glass of water and a pinch of salt to see if your house has negative energy or an uninvited spirit. So you get a glass of water, you fill it halfway, you add a pinch of salt, and you place the glass in a quiet corner of your home where no one will touch it and it remains undisturbed. And leave it there for 7 days. And that's it. The experiment has begun. So if it's peaceful and there's no negative presence, the water remains clear with no changes. But if there's negativity, if your house has negative energy or witchcraft or obsessive spirit, the water begins to transform. Ooh. You'll notice bubbles forming, cloudy patches, or strange surface patterns in the water. Yeah. Because they feel water's it's like a good conductive, powerful conductor of energy, right? And absorbs vibrations. So there you go. Some people are like, yeah, if it changes, it's called dust. Yeah, if the water's dirty, call a maid, somebody said. Yeah, dust is going to get in the cup. Somebody else said, God is powerful. Believe in God instead. So I don't... Lots of different comments out there. I don't know if I buy this. Maybe I'll try it. I don't know. But I don't believe there's anything negative.
Now,
what if crucifixes around the house? So
does it impact the water if it's run through a filter or something? Like if you have in your refrigerator or like a Brita or a Pure
there's a good
or something
experiment.
Like that?
Maybe like use tap water in one corner and maybe use filtered water in another corner.
Interesting. The scientific
we're doing science.
Method. Yeah, we're doing science.
Hypotheses are here. Yep.
Mr. Wizard over here, which even predates me. I mean, I'm not that old.
You brought it up, but no. Nobody said you were. You brought
It's
it
like
up.
from the 50s. Even though I did get a book when I was a kid, my great uncle who passed away, my dad's uncle, he had all these books. And he had occult books, like almost like The Secret, Before the Secret, Manifestation, How to Manifest My. It had one going.
You showed me
what was
some.
it? Witchcraft, curses, and was like, oh, and there was like one in there that had Lucifer in it, and I eventually threw it away because I'm like, this freaks me out.
Yep.
What
was he into?
Well, I was about to say, was he like some kind of witch? And like in black robes and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with the witches. I've talked to a lot of witches on the show, and we have witches who are listeners. In fact, I'm a big fan of the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft right here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I am not a witch.
Freaks me out. I can't go there. But
have no desire to be a witch, but I think they do a great job.
But you might have familial roots, dear. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm wearing black. But the thing is that I do think that kind of enhanced my interest in this. But the point was he had a Mr. Wizard book in there. So from the 50s, he had a lot of old books. So anyway, that's apropos of nothing.
I played with dolls like Annabelle. No. I did have a Raggedy Ann.
No.
Poor thing. If it was haunted or cursed, it would have come back to me because what I did to that poor thing. But anyway,
I have to admit there was one thing in your house that scared me. I don't know if I've ever told you this.
No, you didn't. What?
Do you remember in the basement your mom had?
The basement was scary to begin with.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
Yeah, your basement was kind of scary. She had a picture of herself, and it had like cellophane over it. That picture.
And she was doing this.
Yes, that picture freaked me out.
And the problem was, somebody painted that. It was a pastel. What did I do with that thing?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to see it. And it was no affront against your mom.
No, she put cellophane over it because she kept it in the basement and didn't want it to ruin. But I don't know why she didn't put it in a frame. Somebody painted her, and she had a pose like this where you can't. If you're just listening, she had her index finger across her cheek and her middle finger across her chin. And the way they did it, the one across the chin looked like it was coming out more like ghostly, kind of. It was kind of weird.
No, that just freaked me out. I just remember.
I didn't know that. Oh, I always thought that was so pretty of my mom.
No, I think your mom looked very attractive, and I know the picture that I think I've seen the picture that may have been based on. She looked great. But the point is that it freaked me out. I don't know why.
Now I don't know what I did with that. Oh my gosh. Okay. I thought it was the Jester doll that the girls get freaked out about.
No, the Jester doll. I should have kept that. Maybe I did keep it. Maybe it's down in the basement.
Where is this stuff?
We gotta go looking through my. When we moved here 4 years ago, I had a bunch of stuff for the shows. I'm missing crystals. I mean, I have.
Yeah, you have so many crystals and you can't find them.
And I can't find them. They've got to be in one of those boxes.
I would like some.
Yeah, well, you can. After I take my pick, you can have whatever.
I'll go get my own.
Get your own crystals.
Besides, you're supposed to get your own, aren't you? Aren't they supposed to speak to you?
Imbue with
yes. There you go.
With apologies to Nicholas Pearson, who is our crystal expert, friend of the show, who comes on from time to time to talk about them. So anyway, the Paranormal Podcast, if you haven't checked it out. Scientists are using Earth's shadow to hunt for alien probes, Dar. This is from sciencealert.com. And a new study published in Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society describes an innovative method for detecting potential extraterrestrial probes near Earth. Their approach to use Earth's shadow as a natural filter to eliminate interference from human-made satellites and space debris. Because, basically we've made the orbit of Earth a trash can.
Yes.
It has millions of pieces of reflective debris, and that's only like in, 60, 70 years. It's kind of depressing. Lead researcher is Beatrice Villaroel from Stockholm University. And they're using these shadows to filter out the noise. But here is the thing. They buried the lead in this story. There's a paragraph here that says the study also explores other innovative approaches, including examining pre-1957 astronomical photographs and analyzing color spectra of suspicious objects to identify materials that have been weathered by long exposure to space. So basically, in layperson's terms, they're looking at photos that were taken of the sky before 1957, before Sputnik and any man-made satellites. What it doesn't say here, what it's not saying here, is they found a bunch of images of things they can't explain. And it wasn't man-made because there wasn't a man-made satellite until Sputnik in the 1950s.
They just conveniently
and this has kind of been
that information.
Yeah. So they're looking at the current situation, yes, and they're using shadows, but they're also looking at these other ones. And I'm hoping I can get this researcher on one of the shows. She's done other shows and talked about this. And I think it's really important because, again, the sky now is kind of poisoned with all this man-made stuff. But there's a lot of images from before 1957 that are not, and they're finding some very interesting things. What are these objects in the sky? Because they ain't from us. Again,
curious, right?
Showing you how traditional science buries the lead when it comes to things like this that they don't necessarily want to talk about.
Because they can't explain it.
Right.
So, and there's no, scientific evidence for it. So we just ignore it. Yeah. We only talk about the things we do have scientific evidence for, thus still ignoring all the other things that we don't.
That's true. Well, one other thing that can't be explained, I don't think anybody can explain this.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
I know. Did we ever finish watching it? Isn't there a documentary on him? I think we started to watch some of that. Yeah. We never finished it.
Great quarterback, no doubt.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm afraid that, that he's going to do well with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And of course, Cleveland, that's one of their main rivals. And I've never been a big fan of the Steelers.
Until Cleveland gets a real team, I don't care about them. So
but
whatever.
But regardless, apparently Aaron Rodgers had something to say about some ghost sightings.
Yeah. So when he was with Green Bay a number of years ago, he said there was some paranormal things happening in the dorms during training camp. So I guess he was on one of his new teammates' shows. I don't know if it's a podcast or whatever, but they asked him, give us a conspiracy theory that you want to talk about, because Aaron is filled with those. And they didn't expect him to go with ghosts, and he did. So he is claiming that it was like 2007 or 2008, and they were in the dorms at, I'm trying to find out where it was located. It was St. Norbert College. That's where the Packers had their training camp until like 2019. And he said that a couple of his teammates, like the one night in the corner of his room, one of his teammates saw a ghost in the corner. And then the next night, the ghost returned, but it was in the next room over, and it was in the opposite corner. So, and they were freaked out about it. And so he remembered that story, and, nobody wanted to talk about it because it was too strange. Yeah. So, he says there were ghosts, and he doesn't say that he doesn't believe in it. He almost sounds like he believed them. So,
well, yeah, I'll tell you, I do not believe for a minute that everybody is making all this stuff up. And I got to say,
and why? To what end? Right? Yeah. To what end? Okay, some people, yes, their attention, and they want. And they'll say stories and make up stuff because they want that attention.
Sometimes things are made up, sure.
But that's what I'm saying, some, but not everybody. Because to what end? Why? I mean, like your callers call. What are they gaining by telling their stories? Right. If anything, especially if they do give their real name or if they appear on camera, that there they go. They're going to be judged by the mainstream. You know that, right? Sometimes they will be. So why would they do that to themselves? Why would they put themselves in that position if it didn't really happen to them, if they didn't truly have an experience? Okay. I mean, I had an experience. I don't care. I've had a number. I don't care if people believe me or don't believe me. I know what I saw. I know what's happened. That's it. That's good enough for me. And to go on your show and share it, hopefully help somebody else out there. They're saying, oh gosh, everybody else is saying I'm a kook, I'm a crazy, I'm a idiot weirdo. oh, wait a minute, there's people just like me. So there is stuff that is happening there. I don't know. That's just the way I feel.
Speaking of campfire, I have a little bit of an announcement.
Yeah.
Well, okay. This is, we're releasing this on August 27th, hopefully. And
better
if we can get it out on time. But just like this show has gone video on YouTube and then Spotify, which Spotify you can listen or you can watch, Campfire has been on YouTube for some time, video, the last several months. And now on Spotify, not only will it be audio, it will also be video on Spotify too. So you can take your choice. Yeah. I've been working with those folks over there. They're very, very helpful and excited to see that this might bring us a bigger campfire community and bring us more viewers and listeners and more great campfire stories. So,
this way, people can feel validated knowing,
absolutely.
I had that same experience. Yeah. So that's
I feel that way. I feel about this show. I think if more people are exposed to it, we can build both audiences because I think people, a certain subset of people will really enjoy both shows. So there you have it. So check that out if you're a Spotify person.
Wow.
The wow signal that came from Ohio, OHIO, back in the 70s.
Are they going to win this Saturday?
Yeah. Let's hope so. Texas. My apologies. We have a lot of friends in Texas. I'm sorry. Go Bucks. But this story is about the astronomers who revisited the mysterious wow signal and found a big surprise. This is from Gizmodo. And this is researchers from the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico. They reanalyzed the signal. Of course, that signal was found on August 15th, 1977. Astronomer Jerry R. Emin was so dumbfounded by its intensity that he circled in red and wrote "wow" beside it, hence the name. They said it stood out as a likely candidate for extraterrestrial radio transmission. And if you followed this at all, you've seen it. It's like a old school computer printout, and there's a circle around a certain amount of data, and there's a big wow with an exclamation point. Well, these researchers think they have found the explanation. Researchers led by Abel Mendez, lead author of the new study and director of the Planetary Habitability Laboratory in the University of Puerto Rico, have contributed significantly to this evidence. And they think that the wow signal stemmed from the sudden brightening of a cold hydrogen cloud due to a transient source of radiation, such as a magnetar. These neutron stars have magnetic fields strong enough to excite the atoms in hydrogen clouds and elicit a burst of brightness. Boom, chaka, wow, wow. So,
there we go.
So anyway, they're saying that it may be, Mendez says, not solved yet. We are confident and surprised that we're getting closer. And they'll continue to publish new findings from the archival SETI data, hopefully progressing towards a solution to the decades-long mystery. That, again, is gizmodo.com, and we'll have the link in the show notes. So, But again, I'm not ready to start weeping now. I mean, maybe it was explicable, and it's okay to try to find a rational explanation.
Yes.
But if something doesn't fit, you put that out there too. The idea is to be non-biased as much as possible. I believe every human pursuit is biased, even science, which is not supposed to be. It's all biased.
Right.
Because the human is involved. But it seems like they're being fair about it and they're looking into it. So good on them.
Well, yeah, I appreciate that they're doing more research about it. And maybe they're, as they keep digging it might produce a different answer than what they're expecting. See, that's what science and research is supposed to do. You ask the question, you hypothesize, and then you do an experiment, and it either proves it or it disproves it. But for some reason, all research, the way it's conducted, has to prove the hypothesis. It doesn't.
Right.
That's still research. That's still evidence when you have it not work out the way you want it to work out. So but we're losing sight of this because, as you said, the bias comes in. So
you have a story next up.
Breaking
probably
news.
The biggest paranormal superstar who will never appear on the Paranormal podcast because they'll never respond. And I'm sure that he's never
too good
will
for
respond.
you.
He's too good. He's too big for the longest running paranormal podcast on the internet. But in his defense, I've never seen him on any paranormal podcast, so I can't really feel that slighted.
Well, you don't see him. We don't watch other paranormal shows.
Well, but I know what's going on. I know what's going on.
You do. You have a finger on the pulse.
I have a finger on the pulse, yes. Well, Zak Bagans, we're talking about no other than Zak Bagans, and there is a big development, right?
Yeah, he had an unwanted visitor at his Las Vegas home.
And it wasn't a ghost.
And it wasn't a ghost, apparently. Somebody tried to break in. A woman went through
terrible, actually.
2 security gates and an armed security checkpoint in his neighborhood and attempted to get access into his home. I think she even tried to open the door, but it triggered an alarm, thank goodness. And the housekeeper was inside. Yeah, that's when you know you've made it big. You have a housekeeper.
Yeah, we don't have housekeepers here.
No, I'm the housekeeper. Thank you. Every week. Anyway, so she was inside. She made sure to call security. They came. I guess all this was like on October 16th. She told the people, the security officers, that she had been, speaking with Zak for over 3 years, and he scammed her out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Ugh. And he says that's all BS. That was not true.
Well, I'm guessing it is BS. If somebody's breaking into your house, I don't really think they're a reliable witness.
Right. So he wasn't home at the time. And, but she says she didn't try to open the door. She only rang the bell. But come on, if you broke through 2 security checkpoints, I don't think you were just there to ring the bell. But anyway, she drove away. I guess they didn't arrest her or anything. She was just trespassing on private property. Don't know about that. But anyway, they also had the report that she had been spotted at Zak's museum in Vegas prior to this visit. So I didn't even know he had a museum, but apparently he does. And he was kind of shaken up by this whole thing, which is understandable. I mean, somebody's trying to break into your home. I mean, I just feel like your home is your secure place. That's the place you could feel comfortable and safe. And when somebody violates that, that's got to be, completely disgusting. And think about it. But he was worried she might have a gun, but who knows?
That's terrifying. Yeah. That's terrifying. It is. And I mean, I was joking a little bit about Zak Bagans, but I think this is just horrible to invade anybody's home.
Right.
And we've seen a lot of this with celebrities, with sports stars. They're robbing their houses and things, and it's terrifying.
Lionel Richie this past week.
Yeah,
he's like
that's
in
right.
His
I knew I
upper
was
70s.
thinking something. Yeah, it's just horrible.
And somebody tried to break into his house while he was home.
Some people are very critical of celebrities, of their wealth and those kind of things. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. But these people are humans.
They're people like we are.
They're people. They live in houses.
Right.
I mean, and I know most of them can afford like Uber security and all those kind of things. But as we see, security isn't even infallible. I just think it's horrible. I mean, let's respect people, whether they're just everyday people like you or me, or they're mega celebrities. Respect them.
Right.
Maybe I'm wondering if this woman had a mental issue.
Don't know. There's a little more to this story, though, Jim. So Zak believes that all of this has some kind of supernatural influence. He feels that all this activity and the incident, it's tied to something supernatural. So apparently, he brought home a piece of art called Artemis Fractal. And it was painted by Bill Stoneham, he famously painted the most haunting painting in the world. And Zak said he put the painting in his house just an hour before the woman showed up. Could be coincidence. It could be, like you say, too much of a coincidence. We don't know. So anyway,
I'm he decided say it's coincidence, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he decided to move the painting to the museum instead to get it out of his house. And in the last week, he says multiple visitors from at the museum have fainted, found themselves with bruises and scratches, and experienced crying spells. And so now he's considering having the museum blessed and exorcised.
Well, there you have it. I mean, regardless.
Do you have crickets? No, wait.
Hit the button, Jim. Regardless, let's respect people, whether they're
That's right.
regular people or whether they're celebrities. Like them, don't like them, agree with them, disagree with them, respect them. I got to stop that now.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I thought it stopped itself, but it just goes on forever.
It does not. But I do believe you've had lots of people on Campfire talking about haunted objects and things that they've brought into their
believe
homes.
that's a thing. I'm not saying
I do believe that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's a thing. I don't know if I believe this just because somebody painted it. I don't know. I mean, it may be
we had a story on Campfire years ago, and in fact, we even made a video of it of a young woman, Amy, who had a painting, and when she brought that painting home, weird stuff started happening, including she scalded herself with soup and got 3rd-degree burns. So
my God.
So I mean, I do think and we've had some really wild campfire stories. The one about the lamp, and this lady started showing up over this person's bed at night and terrorizing them when the lamp was there, and then they found out about the origins of the lamp. I totally believe haunted objects are a thing. And I always joke,
believe that.
I've stopped thrifting for 2 reasons. One, you keep saying, keep that junk out of my house.
Absolutely.
And the other one, is that I do worry a little bit about when you bring things in, what are you bringing with you?
True. I believe that evil can attach to things for sure. I mean, if evil attaches to people and, you see how they've been possessed, why couldn't an object be possessed?
And I think it could be the other way too. I think good feelings, good thoughts can also be attached, particularly if it's a loved one's artifact or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about that one because I feel
why couldn't it? Why couldn't if negative emotions and intent and those kind of things can attach to an object, why couldn't it be the other way around too? Why does it all have to be bad?
I have weird thoughts about this. So I feel like the evil stuff tends to be able to hang around because maybe it's not welcomed into the afterlife or wherever, in the next dimension where the kindness and goodness has been allowed to kind of enter and a kind of leave. I mean, why do you feel like you own something of your family's that has
I've told this on the show before.
Or does the emotion that you bring to it?
Well, that's the question, and that's the question I'm asking. I have a pocket knife that belonged to my grandfather, and every time I pick it up, I feel like I feel him. But the thing is I actually say exactly the same thing. Is that a psychological thing on my end, or is that real? I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, I guess there's a case to be made for that too.
And then I always say the thing about my uncle's tools. I'll go out to the garage and I'll go to the tools. I said,
but that's him speaking to you.
Show me the socket, and I'll pick out the right socket, and I'll be damned if it's not the right socket.
But that's him speaking to you. I don't believe he's attached to the tool. Do you see what I'm saying?
Could be, yeah.
I don't know.
Good point.
You guys can have fun with that one.
Something we can talk about over dinner. We now we've taken to sitting on it because before we sat across from the girls and faced them.
We have a rectangular table. Yeah. So Jim and I would sit next to each other. The girls would sit opposite us, and the ends were blank. We didn't have anyone sitting there. If your dad would come, we'd have him sit on one side. Yeah.
So now we're like,
why are we sitting next to each other?
Yeah. In the movies, we're like the people in the mansion, although we're not in the mansion. But the table sits 6, so it has a decent sized table. So we sit on the ends, but we can't reach things like condiments and things. So we take into sliding them shuffleboard style down the table to each other. And yesterday,
that's fun.
You were having fun with
mayonnaise
some salad.
Yesterday.
We had some salad dressing. And I started to slide it, and then there was a bowl in the way, and she moves the bowl, and I said, "Don't move the bowl. I want to see if I could get it through the narrow path there."
You had a gutter ball a couple times. Ball.
Yeah, it wasn't working. It wasn't working. But the things you'll do to amuse yourself.
Yes, when you're empty nesters. Take notes, everybody.
Yeah, take notes. Your time is coming if you've got kids. Enjoy it.
Some people are rejoicing. We're not them.
Yeah.
But
Dar is
we're throwing condiments across the table.
Dar is like, oh, I'm stuck with this guy now. Anyway.
No, I just don't have nobody else to like pawn the puns off to. Jim and his puns.
Yes.
Go ahead, come up with one.
They keep coming. I don't know.
Now, I put you on the spot. See? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess that will do it for today's edition of the Paranormal Report. Don't forget our Plus Club at jimharold.com/plus. That's where you can get the 20-year back catalog and exclusive shows, and that's really what keeps us going, and we need help in that direction, believe me. The merch store, jimharold.com/merch. Our virtual campfire group at virtualcampfiregroup.com. We appreciate all your support in all the different ways. And I guess that will do it, Dar. We'll talk to him next time on the Paranormal Report. And you got to hit the right theme. But bye-bye, guys. Stay spooky.
Bye, guys.
Have a great
Stay
week.
spooky.